ano, palitan niya sa...
Yung lahat, yung ano, lahat, saka labor, yung materials, lahat. Yung mga 100 kakasihan na yun.
1,725 and 50 cents.
Like, yo, that's no joke. So I believe in Philippine peso, it is 100K. But that's what it is in dollars. Like, yo, that's no joke, man. That is like someone's rent for the month, give or take where you live, you know what I mean? Now, she's got, for some reason, she is under the impression that David is loaded because he earns around about $800, a week. Which is quite a lot of money, to be fair, you know what I mean? But again, I don't know where he lives, and I don't know obviously how that works out after all bills and all that kind of stuff. But either way, though, she's in dire need of, well, needing a house to be repaired. So this is where it gets a bit sticky, because now David's kind of feeling like maybe Sheila only has him around purely because of his money and not because of him. Which is something that we're definitely going to dive into now. But hey, man, make sure you subscribe, though. Let's get into it.
Kaya rin ako kasi sobra-sobra na. Pero kaya nga mahirap din. Siya lang nagtatrabaho, siya lang gumagas, ako wala. Kaya medyo parang...
It's a bit of a madness because she doesn't work and David does. She's expecting David to be able to fork up all the money that is needed.
Nahihiya din ako kasi sobra-sobra na.
She said it's really hard because she has no work and you have work. And then for the payment and the cost...
You know what? I would have thought that these are the kind of conversations people would at least have, or at least try and have, before flying across the freaking world. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man.
It's too much. She's so shy about asking for it.
My situation here in Philippines is so difficult. I have job before pandemic, but it's very hard for me to...
You see, here's the thing though, I thought they would have had this conversation, you know what I mean? To be honest with you, because obviously a lot of people nowadays always talk about the pandemic. You know, especially if you lost your job during pandemic, or if you've been unable to get another job since then, or if you lost your savings. Listen, so many different things happening through the pandemic. It's actually quite wild that they haven't spoke about it.
Find work right now. I feel embarrassed, but I don't have anybody in my family that can help me financially.
So in a nutshell, she's expecting a man to walk into her life and pretty much take up all of her financial struggles. That's a bit of a sticky one. I mean, it doesn't make her a bad person. Doesn't necessarily make her a gold digger per se, but it means that when she's looking for someone, she isn't necessarily looking for someone based on pure emotional love. She's more looking for someone based on, can you provide for me? And I understand it, but I just think in the long run, if she doesn't actually love David, then in the long run, it's not going to be healthy. And to be fair, some of the things that she does go on to say do feel rather questionable.
Maybe you think she wants your money?
I mean, it'd be very hard to not think that.
No.
To be honest with you, he should have taken that opportunity to communicate what he's really thinking. Denying it?
Dadalawang isip.
You're having thoughts?
Hindi naman pera ang habot sa amin.
I not want your money.
I think at the end of the day, the problem that David's having here is that he's not communicating this issue. And if you're not communicating this issue right here, right whilst you can, well, then that means, you know, you're not fixing anything. It means that this issue is going to become bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And at the end of the day, you know, Sheila needs to know where she stands with your financial support. And you also need to know where exactly, you know, how she's going to respond to that. And that will determine your next move in your relationship. But if you're not going to be vocal about it, you're only shooting yourself in the foot. And that's the problem when people are not vocal at times when it's needed to be vocal.
Like David thinking that I am into his money, I'm using him because of money. But I'm realizing that David doesn't have the money to support me.
This is when she starts to sound a bit questionable. I'm starting to realize.
In general, and I have so many questions about our future.
And this is the problem, and this is how sometimes for us men, we don't know if someone's with us because of our emotional connection, our physical attraction, or with us primarily because of what we can provide.
Seeing my mom die poor, this made me realize I want a better life for me and my son.
Alam ko mahirap para pag-ayos ng bahay.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with anybody wanting a better life for themselves or their son, but I know obviously she lives in the Philippines and obviously it's not easy as 1, 2, 3, but there's a lot of people that do make it work some way somehow. My point being is that like, it feels like Sheila's relying on the fact that she's going to find a man who's going to pretty much provide her with this stuff. And in reality, I feel like she should be looking for things that she can do by herself. I don't know what those things are because I don't know who she is. I don't know what her colleges are. You know what I mean? And obviously I don't know how she'd be able to go about it in the Philippines. But as far as I'm concerned, if you are in a position where you haven't got anyone to help you, you need to help yourself. And how to do that, only you know the answer, because it's a matter of where you do a lot of trial and error with ideas that you can think of that you will be happy doing, respectfully. You know what I mean? So to be honest with you, Sheila's flaw here for herself is that her agenda to be with someone isn't really in the right place. And it's only going to end up wasting the other person's time, if anything, give or take. And she did say before in another episode that I hope that he doesn't go away without proposing to me because of the interaction that he first had with the family, where the family was awkward. Again, like I said, I listen, again, I understand her position and I understand what she's saying. But you can't rely your life to be saved upon someone else. And here's the thing is also sometimes you may come across a guy, or maybe even a woman for that matter, who has the finances to look after you, but it doesn't mean that they can have the mental capacity to also look after you. So there is also the flip side, do you know what I mean? Like that person could be one hell of an abusive person. That person can be like, well, I pay for everything, so you must do what I want and give me what I want whenever I want it. You have no leg to stand on. So sometimes people also have to look at the negatives of pursuing someone with money because you don't want to, well, because of whatever your situation is. That person may be evil as hell. And let's be real, a lot of people out here with money who provide all the time, a lot of them are very messed up people who do some messed up stuff. I mean, the amount of times I hear about, I've known people where they've been in a relationship, females to be fair with, they've been in a relationship with someone who's a provider, yeah? Someone who's got money. And throughout their relationship, they've been beaten. Because that person says, well, I got the money, so you must give me what I want. And to be honest with you, them being beaten is just, that's the light part of it. It's been darker than that, but I won't say that. I don't want to trigger no one, do you know what I'm saying? But I'm pretty sure you can imagine what I mean. So to be honest with you, I just feel like sometimes when some women out here put on this agenda or this approach or this front in front of them, and they're like, well, I want a man that's going to give me all this, right, provide me financial, all that kind of da-da-da-da-da. Well, that's fine, but you got to be careful. Because I said, money's power. I mean, look at Danielle on the island. We've seen the fact that because she's the one bring the money in, she treats him like garbage. And to be fair, the way she treats him is light work compared to, you know, the type of stuff that I'm talking about. I mean, listen, Sheila could end up in the States with David, and then David could turn around and end up being this crazy guy. And then what? Are you then going to say that you've got a better life now than you did back home? Sometimes a better life, sometimes living somewhere that looks nice and has got all the royalties of food and clean water or fresh water or whatever, or hot water and all that kind of stuff, it may be luxury, but the way that person treats you though, sometimes the way the person treats you will make you realize that maybe what you had before was actually a whole lot better, because at least you was treated like a human. But hey, you guys let me know what you're thinking down below and we'll talk about it. I know they go deep, but sometimes we've got to get deep up in here. Let's never avoid those serious conversations. Because if we're avoiding them, then what are we doing with ourselves? Like, subscribe, peace.